I want to let you know this. Governor Newsom promised President Trump that Paradise would not have another fire like they had in 2014 or the 2016. It would not be another Paradise. It would not happen. He lied to President Trump. It did happen. Paradise burned down again. He lied to President Trump. Gary Newsom did.
Well, here you have it. Paradise lost times 3 again, which is going to be even the name of it, Paradise, and it's 3 times burned now. It's a very strong symbol. It speaks of prophetically, perhaps, unfortunately. And we're going to, as citizens of America, and as some of us who profess Christianity, we're really going to have to dig deep into our roots and see what recourse we have on crying out to God and Lord, give us a strategy. Lord, help us. Lord, let your rain come, but not too much rain, because then we have floods. So this is definitely 2020 has turned out to be a year to be contended with. And
Hurricanes,
we have to prepare for
fires,
21 when it turns the
tornadoes.
corner. There's going to be more stuff, I think, coming down. So, and we have to be able to ready. So, what we need to focus. And a little bit part of this program that we have here today is to get on the FEMA website and get on the preppers websites and YouTube. And it might be a little extreme for some, and that's all right. Just take what you can and what you want, and leave everything else to those. You know, you have to be able to feed yourself, contain yourself, because the need is widespread. And, we just had a hurricane hit Texas and Louisiana.
Tornadoes,
too. And it went up the coast. So, we have to have the mindset, okay, this just went down. How do we respond? How do we survive? How do we gather what little bit is left and live off it, and live off the land, and live off whatever, so while insurance pays off and we can rebuild or XYZ. Go ahead.
The problem is, though, our the farms that we have here, all gone in Oregon State, all gone, all of them, all the farms we had in Oregon, all gone. So there's no vegetation, no vegetation. I'm going to repeat that again. There's no vegetation here. There's no vegetation at all. It's gone. It's wiped out. It's gone. I mean, we have here in Oregon, we have lost we lost 4 counties so far. Lost 4 counties, so that's a lot. And we and 18 small cities, by the way. 18 small cities all burned down. All of them. It's 12% of Oregon is gone. 12% of Oregon is gone. 500,000 people have been displaced so far in Oregon. 500,000 people.
It's heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking. Just listening to your voice and to the situation on the ground, it's heartbreaking. It's awful.
Yeah, it is. But, it's not as bad as California. California, Silicon Valley is on fire too, by the way. Silicon Valley, the people who made Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google, is on fire right now. It's on fire. They're in blaze right now because they're sinful. They're sinful. And remember, BLM said they would burn down. They said they would burn down Silicon Valley. Remember, they said that. They threatened to do that. There it is. They said it, but they didn't listen. Nobody listened to these people. Nobody listened to these terrorists who were plotting this terrorist attack. Nobody listened, but we did. You and I addressed this last month. Remember, you and I addressed this issue last month. Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
But nobody listened to us. They didn't hear us. Nobody paid attention to what we were talking about. Nobody paid attention to our warning, what we talked about here, because they said fires infrastructure was going to happen. You said that, Minerva. You said that.
Yeah.
You said it.
Gosh.
You said it. This is why we had you on the air today to talk about this, because you said it. You predicted this. You said it was going to be a possibility of this is going to happen. You said it. You predicted this, and nobody listened to your warning. Nobody listened. Now here we are. 1 month later. 1 month later, here we are.
And unfortunately, it's what's going to continue. I don't want to be the person who bears that news, but guess what? This is not going to go away that fast and that soon. It's almost as if it's another little horn. Biblically speaking, it speaks of horns.
Absolutely.
Those things that stick it to you collectively. So we just have had too many things coming down the pipe, and because we have enemies hidden among us. They are enemies of the state, enemies of America, enemies of the American people. These people are causing havoc. They're breaking havoc. They're burning down. Who is to know? It started in the west, but it's already in the mid sector, and I'm sure it's going to head east somewhere, and south. So, what do we do? How do we respond? How do we prepare ourselves psychologically and spiritually and materially to be able to have to perhaps move out of our homes, move out of our businesses, move our families out of harm's way? Do we all book a flight and we all fly to South America and weather it down there? Or Europe? Who knows? I'm just saying. How do we respond to this without fear, yet engaging the horn, engaging that which is bucking us, so to speak? So I think that we need education. We need to be educated on these polyfires. How do they behave? What do firefighters do? When they tell you to evac, you evac immediately. Don't give the firefighters and the cops a hard time. Just do as you're told and move out. Have ready your passport, your financial documents, your birth certificates. Because you won't be able to go to downtown and get your birth certificates because downtown is burned now. Yep. So every available document that you have, proof of your insurance, house insurance, especially if you own a home, proof of your car payments, any documents that prove that you have been paying for or paid off, your material assets, your gold, your jewelry, put it in suitcases. Have your water and granola bars, protein bars, anything that you can open with a canned soups and fruits. Anything canned right now is gold for you if you're in that sector. If you had grains and you still can get out and put the rice and put the beans in your car, if you had it stored up in grains or in pails. But mainly you need water, your documents, your meds, your canned food, and bail out. Just get out. Head towards grandma's house. Head towards your best friend's house in New Hampshire. Get out of the area. You can always come back. Right now, your life and the life of your children, the life of your family, the life of your parents and your siblings, your pets, that's what is most important. And we can always rebuild. If it will take some time, it's going to take a long, long, long time because it's not just one area that is lost. It's many areas, timber. So timber is used for construction. That's up in flames. Our food sources in California and in Oregon, berries, rice, avocados, everything,
apples.
Lettuce. Your food supplies are literally burnt. Yep. The soil has been damaged, so you just can't replant immediately. You're going to have to replant late. You have to nourish the soil, which the ashes do that, by the way, but it takes at least 1 to 3 years for it to yield the nutrients back to the forest. So I'm serious. Hey, consider going to I don't know, South America somewhere, or Asia,
No,
or
don't want to do
somewhere, or I mean, a friendly Asia, not the hostile Asia, and maybe Japan. I don't know, Spain, or Australia. I don't know. Just if you have ties, if you have families, your heritage comes from any of those countries, reach out. Maybe you will need to leave for 6 months. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying that
we can't do that. We got an
box.
election here. We
Think out
cannot
the
do
box.
that. We cannot leave. We got an election here. That's going to bring. If we leave, there goes President Trump's re-election. That's it. So we cannot leave. We gotta stay vigilant. We gotta stay here. That means relocate. They have to go.
How are the ballots going to be delivered?
Well,
if there's no mailboxes, there's no homes to be delivered.
Then
I'm just saying.
Right. You know what's going to happen, don't you? You go to like Wisconsin. You go to places like Texas. Or go to right now Oklahoma. Oklahoma's pretty good. Looks pretty good right now. They actually Oklahoma said if there's a fire, we will take care of it immediately, and we will put foam on it. The governor said that. The governor said we're not going to turn our state to a California state. We're not going to do that here. If there's a fire, we will take it out. That's what the governor of Oklahoma said. We will handle it. We will take care of it. If it's under even 5 acres, we will burn it out. We're not going to let it burn. Under 5 acres or more, we're not going to let it burn. We're going to take it out. The governor of Oklahoma set the standards. I love the governor of Oklahoma. That guy's great.
Yes. Well, yes, that's the spirit. So that's right. I had not thought about the elections. It escaped my mind, but you're absolutely right. Thank you for bringing that back to me. So we can't leave.
No.
How do we? The voting precincts and districts are they going to remain available? Are they going to remain? Wow, it's a difficult question. It really is. It really is.
Well, Donald Trump is making a special trip out here next week. He's going to oversee what's going on. He's going to talk to the governor. And the governor's going to figure this out because she made a mess, because she cut the funding of our forestry, our flame retardant. Okay, flame retardant got cut. Then we got our fire department got cut, and they also cut the forestry service too as well. We're down to a third. Down to a third. 1/3. People don't realize what that means. A skeleton crew. We are out. We got a skeleton crew out here putting out fires. That's how bad it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what are the leadership in your state? What are they saying, and what's the proper response? What are they saying? If they have any response plan? What are they saying in your state?
They're saying stay home, be vigilant, and also stay indoors. Don't go out and heed the warning. If you gotta get out, evac. But that's all they're telling us. That's it. We don't know anything about about the ballot. Obviously, they don't want us to vote for Trump. That's the whole idea here. They don't want to vote for Trump. They don't want us to vote. The state's going to come, regardless. The state is going to come red because what Kate Brown has done to the forestry, it made everybody so darn mad because they're farmers, they're ranchers. These people, they burned down. This fire has burned down the eastern part of Oregon. Okay, and the eastern part of Oregon is a red part of Oregon. These people. Yeah, go ahead.
Question. Okay. What was the in 2016? How did Oregon vote? What percentage was Republican and what percentage was because what percentage was Democrat?
We had in Oregon State. They stuffed the ballots. They found that out. We stuffed the ballots, and our thank you so much for the, the communist legislature allowed this to happen, and they did not inform or they didn't alert about stuffing until after the election was over with. They came out and apologized after the election was over. And there was voter fraud you would not believe here in Oregon. It would be voter fraud, lots of voter fraud. And they didn't do anything about it because the Attorney General is corrupt too as well. And so is our the District Attorney's Office too. Very liberal. So it got liberals, progressives are in charge of this country.
It's a systematic and widespread integrity issue in regards to voting there. Wow.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's communism. It's communism, socialism is what it is. Communism and socialism. But when Donald Trump comes here next week in Oregon, he's already in California already, and he's mad at Governor Newsom because remember, Governor Newsom told President Trump in 2017, he promised this paradise would not happen again. It would be controllable. You would have enough firefighters and enough equipment to actually stop the paradise fire from happening. Well, guess what? It burned down again. President Trump is mad as hell right now because Governor Newsom promised President Trump it would not happen, and here they are, and we lost lives and property again in paradise.
Wow. So, well,
and it's not President Trump's fault. We can't blame Trump for this one because he lied. Governor Newsom lied to President Trump, and we have that. And we have all the tweets out here to put this together. We actually made a compiled report here to verify what we're saying.
Well, I'm sure it's going to come back up in political season. With that, we already are in the political season,
right?
So, we'll start.
There's consequences for this.
We'll see the tweets.
There's consequences as for.
Let me look at the tweets. I've been looking at them, and right now it's because it's a solemn day as we remember the 9/11 victims and what happened in New York and Washington D.C. And in Pennsylvania.
But now we're fixing an 9/11 right now. We got 9/11 right here. We got 9/11 right now. We got property being lost. We got people people are losing property and losing life here. That's exactly what we did in 9/11. If you realize that, same thing. It was fire and destruction.
Yes.
Here we are to fire and destruction.
That's exactly how we opened the your radio today with that analogy. I guess it's paradise in California could be symbolic of paradise America. America is not perfect, but neither is any nation in the world.
No.
So when they tell us, oh, America this and America that, you know what, America this and America that, don't be trashing my nation because you came here escaping your nation or looking for a dream, and then you have the nerve to come here and criticize America. Not that we're perfect, but you escaped something, and we're trying to work on the issues that tarnish us. We're trying to work on the issues that in our history that have not been so bright. And that's what, when you grow up, if you make another analogy, as a human being, we believe in self-development and growth and moral growth. So collectively, we can grow as Americans and leave those things that are not so good and move forward to those things that are. And paradise being a beautiful place in California, or used to be a beautiful place in California, is it's pretty much telling and symbolic. every nation and every state has a beauty. I would like to know a little bit about Oregon. I don't think I've ever been, I'm from Cali, and I don't think I went to Oregon. I probably did go up to Washington. But what can you tell me just a little bit about your state? I know I reversed the interview. I know, but I just want to learn a little bit about Oregon.
Oregon, we have. Oregon the coast is beautiful, by the way. If you've ever been to Oregon coast, we have sea lions out here. Right now, the sea lions, I feel bad for the sea lions right now. I feel bad for the birds too as well. Hummingbirds we have around here, the squirrels, deer. Oh man, the wildlife around here is completely being disrupted right now. I can't imagine what what these animals are going through right now outside. Horses and these even the wineries, the grapes are being destroyed now because of this fire too. I mean, we're losing so much. We're losing so many things and natural resources. I mean, it's just incredible. Yeah, I don't think people realize how much infrastructure we have in Oregon. The farming community is all being disrupted right now. All of it. It's all being disrupted right now. We got people who have horse race who are thoroughbreds in this and around here too as well. By the way, who do the Kentucky Derby? That's all gone. I mean it's gone. I can't even imagine what the property owners are feeling right now, or the ranchers right now. I just can't imagine. Oh, and by the way, we know for a fact we lost 50 churches in around in 8 counties so far. 50 churches, 8 counties so far we have lost in the state of Oregon. To give you an idea.
Do you think that could be intentional?
Is this from the fire? This is from the forest fire, but we don't know if it was arson. We expected some of them. Some of them were arson. We expected this, and that's exactly the Wall. This is from the New York Times, by the way. New York Times said that the California fire was caused by Antifa because they came out and spoke about it. Antifa did. Antifa takes credit for the Paradise Fire.
Well, then Antifa should go to jail. This is another. One thing is peaceful demonstration, and one thing is intentional destruction of life and property. And it is time that the president and Congress and the Justice Department hold Antifa accountable for all the death and the destruction that's ongoing. Put a stop to this. Enough is enough. As citizens, we are crying out and we're calling out our legislative bodies and our supreme and law enforcement and our judicial, I should say, and our president. You need to put a stop to this. Put a stop to this, or we're going to put a stop to you. Because I think Americans have had enough of the name calling, the name blaming, and no action. These communists, these socialists, or just people who just don't do a thing.
I want to tell you something, Minerva. I want to tell you something right now. The President Trump and there's Andrea Ocasio-Cortez has threatened the President of the United States. So did Omar Sharif. And Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi have all put threats on the President of the United States. Yes, they did.
Yeah, well, I know. When I say it's we have to speak this up. We just can't. It's kind of slow. It's kind of slow. I think we need to be immediate and forceful about this. One thing is peaceful demonstrations, like I said, because the Constitution allows it as long as it is peaceful. There is nothing peaceful about arson, death, destruction of property, destruction of states, destruction of resources, especially it didn't cost you anything, you didn't pay for it, and it's not yours. I don't know. I'm very concerned, very, 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 very concerned on how these fires are being used for political purposes. And literally, people are suffering and there's a political football going on. And Pelosi has to be held accountable. She is the Speaker of the House, but she's also a representative of California. And I am, by the way, I can speak to this because I am from California. I was born in San Jose.
Right. Also, don't forget, Nancy. Don't forget.
I'm from the West Coast
Yeah, Minerva, I want to tell you this. Sorry to interrupt you, but this you're not just Pelosi. It's Maxine Waters, Dianne Feinstein. These people have been in power way too long. We need term limits on these people. We gotta have term limits. Get rid of these people in office.
I 100% agree. So they term limited the president. Congress should have term limited themselves. The audacity, they have some big, the Mexican word, they have some big ones when they excuse this, but it's just how dare you put limits on one branch that is supposed to be your equal, and you don't put the same limits on yourself, on your organization, on your corporate body. And same thing with the I don't know when this started to happen, but the Supreme Court judges, they're appointed for life. I think we need to start making all the branches equal, all the branches with term limits, because it's not a career. They go in there and they go in powers, they go in poor, and then all of a sudden they're millionaires and back deals here, and back they award contract and businesses to their husbands, to their children, they get the juicy jobs, the plum jobs, millions of dollars to sit on a board. And excuse me, it's not your perspective, it's not your expertise, I should say. This is what is so irritating, that we have tolerated these things for so long, that because we have tolerated these things for so long, they have now become the norm. Mm-hmm. That's the standard. Well, no, that's not the standard. We have so far from the true standard that now what we're dealing with is the ashes, literally ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. It's just sad. When we need term limits, like you said, we need to have that. We really do. More than ever before. We gotta have term. We gotta get rid of these people who have been in power way, way too long. I mean, look what's going. I mean, George Soros, as you know, funded BLM. You know that, and also Antifa. He gave these money. He gave these. Hey, go ahead.
Right, and he funds his organizations, all these nonprofits. What do is fund all these left-wing district attorneys, governors, politicians, and they're really part of the Communist Party. Right. They're infiltration. And I don't understand how people can be so gullible. People can be deceived so easily. Here's somebody with no track record. They'd never been in politics before, and worked in the military. They've never been part of the military or any kind of government expertise or experience, or never showed any interest in politics. And all of a sudden they jump in races and they get elected because they're funded. Meantime, the people on the right and grassroots, we struggle because we have to try to raise funds from here and from there. And if you don't show a certain amount of fundraising ability, the RNC will not look at you because they don't give you the money.
Right.
You have to be able to, show fundraising.
Right.
So, unfortunately, that's one of the metrics that both political parties use, the ability to fundraise. And so when they put so much emphasis on that, and then they're out of balance because they lose the other qualities of a person that wants to run for office, their integrity, their way of thinking, their foresight and understanding and perceiving the world, and understanding what's going to come ahead, and be prepared for what's going to come ahead. So, and the overemphasis of the money, then you have there's an underemphasis